Earth, the planet that we live on, home to nearly 10 billion people. But is it home to all of us? Some of us are not from here, and we know it. Maybe not consciously, but on a subconscious level, we know we don't belong here. So where did we come? Did we originate from? Who are our original people? We have to ask ourselves, are we from the Milky Way galaxy or from somewhere else? We are on a constant journey of searching where we belong and why we exist in the first place. But are the explanations from earthly religions going to answer these questions for us? So many people these days have questions of life and existence, but are left empty with only more questions after following some earthly belief structure for years. We also wonder, why are some people born with incredible talents and seemingly have an advantage over others intellectually, and some fall short? Do we reincarnate and learn through our existence, giving us an advantage in our next lifetimes? Or do we live only one lifetime and go to heaven like religion tells us? Some people believe we're in a simulation and our lives are being controlled by powerful beings. Some people believe that a creator deity presides over us and dictates every aspect of our lives. Or do we have control over our own lives completely, and we decide every aspect of our existence? We live on a planet that's shrouded in mystery with ancient structures that were built, but we have no definitive way of explaining how this was accomplished. Did other people from another planet come to Earth in the distant past and help our ancestors build these megalithic structures? Also, do ghosts exist, or are they figments of our wild imaginations? Have the hundreds of sightings of Bigfoot and other cryptids been fabrications of people that were seeking attention? Or have they been here with us all of this time? We also have to ask the question about our genetics and why we are so barbaric and warlike. Were we genetically manipulated by other human beings to be predisposed to barbaric tendencies? Have other humans and people from the great expanse of the cosmos been coming here for millions of years, and people are only denying this fact? I'm going to delve into these things: reincarnation, spirituality, existence, UFO encounters, the paranormal, science, genetics, and the future on live stream, and discuss with you, the listeners, and try to figure out the truth of all these mysteries. And maybe, just maybe, we'll find out together that we are all not from Earth.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. We're all not from Earth. To this 14th episode, the real history of the man named Jesus Christ. That wasn't actually his real name. His name was Emmanuel. So there's a lot of misconception about this for the last 2,000 years. So much misinformation about his life, and I decided to do it tonight on Easter Sunday. Um, yeah, gonna do a couple updates. What's been going on in the news? Supposedly, Donald Trump has threatened Iran with 48-hour window. It says on Tuesday he's gonna destroy the entire country. Yeah, no, that man's a coward. I don't think he's gonna do anything about it. Hopefully not. Hopefully he's not gonna send a nuclear weapon over there. He's an idiot, but I don't think he's that big of an idiot. Benjamin Netanyahu is now he'll do it. He will most definitely send a nuclear missile over there. Man, these people are just ruled by so much hate. Unbelievable. It just never ends. There's always a way out of this. There was never supposed to be, this ridiculous war out there anyway in the first place. America does not belong out there in the Middle East, and now they're threatening to closed the Bab al Mandeb Strait too, um, to America and Israel and some others. This is affecting the entire world with oil. But last night I said that only 10% of the oil comes out of the Middle East over there. So the rise in gas prices, it's just a corporate money scheme for them to make more money. There's honestly no reason for it. They're milking this opportunity to the last. They're making trillions of dollars right now. And I did a little bit of driving around today, not too much, not too far. Go to the grocery store, and they're literally running out of gas at the gas stations. They put those plastic bags out of order on there. I saw so many pumps with those plastic bags on there, and there's lines like wrapped around, even on the road to try to fill up with gas. Come on, people. Um, it's not the end of the world. Um, there was even a woman on social media that she had an SUV, and she had this like tote, clear tote, plastic totes, that you put like you use when you're moving to store stuff. Um, she was filling up this clear plastic tote with gasoline, and then she was gonna drive her car with it. I can't imagine all that sloshing around there, even with the lid snapped on. Her entire SUV was gonna be filled with gasoline. That is just bizarre and idiotic. This is the way that people think. Just like when COVID-19 hit, people were going and they were buying all the toilet paper, all the hand sanitizer, um, like meds and stuff like this. They were just like pushing each other out of the way to get all this stuff. And this is a clear overreaction. People have like zero consideration for somebody else. Guys, you got to think about others. You can't like um, you know become paranoid and think that the world is ending. And then what happens at the grocery stores and stuff like that, they run out of these products, and anyone that actually needs them, you can't get it. It's the same thing going on with the gas right now. People are driving all over the place. Just stop driving um, back and forth where you don't need to go. Just keep it to the essentials. Keep it from point A to point B, like to go to work and to come back home and to go to the grocery store. But people are still going out shopping. They're still going to the malls. They're still going to all these other places. They're ransacking like Costco and Walmart and other grocery stores. Like they're stocking up for the apocalypse or something like this. It's not going to be apocalypse unless you want it to be. So how about people practice some like human decency and restraint? My goodness, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And that sort of mentality, everyone has it. There's very few people that don't have it. And I guess like someone like me that, I'm very like tempered and measured, and I don't overreact to situations like this. Whenever I need something, I go to the store, it's not going to be there because all these other greedy, paranoid people that are freaking out, they've already taken everything. They've already bought all this stuff up. And then, when things calm down, then they have a surplus of all these things. How many rolls of toilet paper do you need? And how many, you know, gallons of gas do you need or whatever? They're spending all their money like, they need to survive the Walking Dead apocalypse or something like that, or any of those other movies. Come on, people, man, just slow it down a little bit. Stay calm. Don't overreact to this scale. I can't believe it. Every single time, every time, it never fails. It absolutely never fails. Um, and people had the same reaction to it. They really really need to calm down. I have a feeling it's just going to get worse and worse, and the gas station is going to run out of gas because people keep on doing something like that lady doing, filling up totes. I imagine people will probably, if they have friends that have like their owner operators and own their gas truck or whatever, they're probably going to end up filling that up. People probably going to like end up stealing gas from these major corporations where they pick it up. They're not going to like register it. You're going to figure out some sort of scheme to do that and sell that. As this is just getting worse, and it's not going to get better. If they shut down that other strait and start charging people what they are charging, like $2 million to get through, that is crazy. But Iran is just defending themselves. This was instigated by Israel and America, and you can't really blame them for what they're doing. And also another plane got shot down, and supposedly they recovered someone. It's very very unclear. It's very the reports are there's different reports out there. Some reports say that everyone that was part of that crash died. Some reports say that one person was rescued. Some reports say that two people were rescued. Um, the Trump administration's even shutting down satellite imagery to Iran because they don't want us, people to see what's going on out there. So something, which in every war there's always some very very sketchy things going on that they're not telling the public, and unfortunately there's no like reliable American journalists on the ground over there. As far as I know. So I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to go over to Iran right now and document all this, but we kind of need that. We kind of need, you know, someone who's honest and reliable to report on this stuff, because you cannot rely on CNN and Fox News and the White House to come out with the facts. They're going to lie about every single thing, and then oh my goodness. I don't even know what to think about this. This is just um complete complete overreaction by the American public, and total absolute hatred by the Israeli government and the US government. Apparently there are a lot of people protesting right now in Israel. Which is a good thing. That shows like signs of hope that not everyone agrees with this genocidal agenda. Um, People are starting to wake up, and I think the only reason why a large portion of them are doing that because the bombs are getting through their defenses, and they're blowing up buildings over there in Israel. So now they're starting to realize that they're not untouchable. So I imagine some of the people that are protesting were kind of hateful at the beginning. I don't think that they're all like, they were all decent people, but yeah, there's good people in every place, in every country. Good people in Israel, good people in America, good people in England, good people in Iran too. We just need to stop the hate, that, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere because the people who are in charge, they're so dug in. Also, there's like rumors of Donald Trump being in the hospital, and like I said last night, I think that his double made an appearance today. I don't think that he was physically even capable of making a public appearance, and all of a sudden he just shows up at a golf course. Come on, that's definitely not him. So yeah, must be nice to sit at the top and you know watch soldiers die, innocents die. Like I said this a couple episodes before, if any soldiers come across this, just quit. Just refuse to order. Um, and if any of the generals come across this, come on, guys, you gotta have some spine. You're Americans, and you're sending your subordinates out there to be cannon fodder. There is no way that a ground operation is going to end with any success. They will dig themselves in. They have underground cities also over there in Iran. They've been doing this for decades. Everyone has underground cities and facilities. There's no way that they're just going to give up, um, without a fight. It's going to cost thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lives, and just have like a spine and a backbone, and just turn around. Even if it ends your career, so what? So what? When you come home, you'll be a hero. And imagine if one company quits under one general's leadership. A couple other companies may quit, and others may come back home. It may start a positive domino effect, but it's gonna take for somebody to do that first. It's gonna take people to stand up for what they believe in, and not want to go out there and kill innocents. But yeah, this situation, guys, like I've been saying, it's not gonna get resolved. And then you got that annoying uh, podcaster Dave Rubin. Oh my goodness, I never really realized what a moron he was. I don't even watch his stuff, but I saw like clips of it on Reddit, going around telling people that it's like a just war. That's It's not a forever war. It's only gonna last a couple months and all this. He needs to shut his mouth. That's what he needs to do. Somebody needs to pop that man in the mouth. Um, Supporting a negative regime like this. Come on, please. What an idiot. Absolute idiot. Supporting genocide and hate and war. Anyone that supports war, period, somebody needs to punch him in the face. So, yeah, so today is Easter Sunday. Man, I can feel the weight of those negative energies, the amount of negative energies that were created today through this religious delusional practice is unbelievable. I have like a massive headache, but I promised I was going to do an episode, so I keep my promises as best I can. For like the last week, I haven't been practicing dissipate negative energies. I need to get back to that because it's just like overwhelming. I'm getting really, really sensitive to these negative energies that are being created through religious delusion on this planet. And today, out of all the days, massive amount of negative energy was created through this, guys. So what it is when you pray, and you prostrate yourself to some fictitious god. You relinquish your self-control, your own decision making, and you become submissive. You essentially push your thoughts and your responsibility in your life onto some sort of fictitious being, some supernatural being. And in this process, intellectual process, you create negative energies. We're not supposed to do that. That's not the way that creation intended it to. We're supposed to be strong minded. We're supposed to be individuals, free thinking people. And in this whole process of relinquishing who you are, your self identity, um, you create these negative energies, and you also open yourself up to negative energy. So imagine billions of people around the world celebrating some nonsense religious holiday, praying, and doing all sorts of yeah negative incantations. That's what prayer is negative incantations. So you have a large amount of negative energies that is continuing to get infused around the planet. And the thing is, the Federation of Light, they're doing peace meditations. They did a recent one this weekend. So they do it on the first and third weekend of the month. So they just did uh, this peace meditation. And I can tell you right now, it's just a never-ending battle. Like I don't really see the point of doing it anymore. They keep on doing it on the first and third month, billions and billions of people in the fecal organization, but people were continuing to create negative energies. So, the logical thing would be solve the root of the issue, which is religious delusion and war and hatred and all that, and then you don't have to worry about people creating these energies anymore. We literally live in an ecosystem of negative energies. This is so unbelievably unnatural. This is not the way that things are supposed to go at all. Um, but that's the world that we live in, and I'm keep on thinking like there has to be a way of removing all these negative energies, but at the same time, Earth humans are just going to recreate it time after time again every Wednesday when they go to church and every Sunday. And imagine those mega churches. They're doing a horrible amount of damage. My goodness, thousands of people in one church relinquishing their entire beings to something that doesn't exist, creating massive amount of negative energies. Um, these Gothic cathedrals also, and then today it's just it's unbelievable. I could literally feel it like a massive weight on my whole physical body, but I'll endure it. Um, I'm gonna learn a lot in this lifetime about negative energies. I'll study it in my next lifetime. I imagine I'll come back in time probably to do some research on this, but I'm going to do the best I can while I'm still in this lifetime to figure it out. And maybe, I'll become a master of dissipating these negative energies. There has to be a way to walk around in large crowds of people and like remove the infused negative energies that are in their thoughts and in their heads, because it resides even on the fine matter sub level of genetics. That's how horribly, you know, it infiltrates us. It infiltrates us on a physiological level. The acids in our brains, the cerebral spinal fluid, becomes negatively charged, and even in genetics, in our cells, all of it becomes infused with negative energies. This civilization hasn't even begun to research any of that. So any of you out there that are thinking, this is all nonsense. No, no, it isn't. This is actual fact. There are people that literally spend whole lifetimes studying these negative energies, and I've already talked about it in a previous episode, the different types. So yeah, they have a horrible effect on us, and also the spiritually brand new spiritually spirit forms that are recently created. This is their first lifetimes. That is so unnatural. That is like anti-creational. That is they're not supposed to develop within an ecosystem of negative energies. This is like setting the course of their the rest of their spiritual existence in a negative way. But yeah, I'm not going to delve too much into that. um Tonight maybe I'll practice it, dissipating some of it. But tonight's topic, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I say that a lot. I guess that's a bad thing to say, right? If you're religious, don't use the Lord's name in vain. Whatever. Anyway, the thing is, his name was not Jesus Christ. This was first, perpetuated by Emmanuel's brother, Jacob. There's a stepbrother. So, and a person called Soul Pal. Paul. I'm sorry, not Pal. Soul Paul, which they were calling him Jesus Christ. So it's like a Greek uh, terminology, Christo. So, all right, a little bit to start it off. Let's see, I've got created a slideshow with this. I'll do that, and then I'll go to the other facts that I did. I'm starting a little bit later because it's like fact checking all of this. I didn't want to, give the wrong facts about this, but yeah. So something I was looking on the Future Humankind website, FICU's website. Something bizarre is going on there. I don't know what it is. It's like there's a lot of 404 pages not found. A lot of things that are like redacted now. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Maybe they're editing something, or and like I said before, some of the facts have changed. It's just really, really, really strange what's going on there. I'm not in the figure organization, so I have no idea what's going on. Maybe some play on or altering some things. You never know. Maybe the CIA or the Catholic Church is trying to alter that website or whatever. I just don't understand why they don't make it like hack proof. They can do that very easy with advanced technology. I don't understand why they don't do that. They constantly try to correct things that are twisted and manipulated. It's just unbelievable. I don't understand how these people think from the Federation of Light. But so you're gonna have to refer to the Patreon video. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, because the picture of Emmanuel. So all I can say to kind of describe him, what he looks like, is most definitely not what the modern depictions of what Jesus Christ looked like. So that was not his name. His actual name was Emmanuel, um, and that's what he looked like right there. So he had like very, very, very dark brown hair, beard, and they look very, very different. So from the depictions. All right, his birth. He was born February 3rd in the year 04 BC. That's not what everyone says, is it? Everyone claims that he was born on Christmas Day, December 25th, um, the year zero. That's not when he was born. He was born February 3rd in the year 4 BC in Bethlehem. And his name Emmanuel means he of godly knowledge. His biological father was a player named Gabriel, which he artificially inseminated his mother Mary. So she was married to Joseph at that time, and it was through artificial insemination. So, and apparently she was not a virgin. So, but Gabriel did not have like actual, physical sexual relationship with Mary because she was married to Joseph. So, all right, and he died in Srinagar, Kashmir, India, May 9th, the year 111 AD. So that would have made him about 115 years old. The reason why he lived so long is because he was part Pleiadian. So, all right. There's a lot of misconception about his Sermon on the Mount. So I'm gonna, read this for those of you listening on Apple Podcasts. It's quite long, but this is the actual words that he said. So, and then I'll kind of go over it at the end. All right. So it says, "Blessed are those who are rich in spirit and recognize the truth, for life in theirs. Blessed are those who endure hardship, for they shall thus recognize truth and be comforted. Blessed are the spiritually balanced, for they shall possess knowledge. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for truth and knowledge, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are those who live according to the laws of nature, for they live according to the plan of creation. Blessed are those who have a clear conscience, for they need not fear. Blessed are those who know about creation, for they are not enslaved by false teachings. Blessed are the righteous, for nature is subject to them." Let's see if I can get rid of that. The live part, I guess not. Um, Blessed you on my account, and because of our teachings, people relive and persecute you and speak all manner of evil against you. Thus they lie about the teachings. Be of good cheer and take comfort. This life and the next life will reward you. For so have the belittlers of the truth persecuted the prophets who were before you, and so will they also persecute you. You are the salt of the earth, and if the salt loses its flavor, with what would one salt? It is useless henceforth, except it be thrown out and stepped on by the people. You are the light of the world, and consider the city that lies on top of a mountain cannot be hidden. One does not light a candle and place it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, thus it shines for all those who are in the house. Likewise, your light shall shine before the people, so they see your good deeds and recognize the truth of your knowledge. Do not think that I have come to do away with the law or the prophet. I have come not to undo, but to fulfill and to reveal the knowledge. Truly I say to you, until the heavens and the earth vanish, neither a letter nor a dot of the law of creation and the laws of nature will vanish until all is fulfilled. Whosoever violates one of the smallest of the laws or directives and teaches the people falsely will be called the smallest. But whosoever spreads the teachings truthfully will be called great and will receive the reward of the Spirit. I tell you, if your righteousness does not exceed that of the scribes and the Pharisees, gotta move that real quick. Uh, the live thing covered it up again. Uh, you'll receive the reward of the Spirit and of life. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, "You shall not kill, but whosoever kills shall be found guilty by the courts." However, I say to you, exercise justice according to the natural laws of creation, so that you find the judgment in logic. Guilty are those who kill when not acting in self defense or according to legal verdict based on self defense. Likewise, guilty are those who engage in evil speech and actions. Only justice according to the natural laws of creation produces a logical judgment. Do not accommodate your adversities if you are in the right, and the judge will probably have to decide in your favor. Truly, I say to you, you will attain justice only when you find it yourself and can make your fellow humans understand it. You have heard that it was said, "You shall not commit adultery." But I say to you, whosoever has sexual intercourse with someone other than their spouse shall be delivered to the courts, for it is an act unworthy of humans, contemptible, and an offense against the laws of nature. If, however, your right eye or left eye causes annoyance, tear it out and throw it away, because it is better for you that just one of your members be destroyed than your whole body. If a thought causes you annoyance, eradicate it and ban it from your brain. It is better to destroy a thought that incites annoyance than to bring the whole world of thought into an uproar. It has also been said, "Whosoever divorces his spouse shall hand over a certificate of divorce." However, I say to you, whosoever separates from their spouse, except in response to adultery, commits adultery. Whosoever marries a person who is guilty in a divorce also commits adultery. You have further heard it said to your ancestors, "You shall take no false oath, and you shall keep your oath to God." I'm not sure why it says that, but should say creation. See, that's strange. I directly, copied and pasted from the future humankind. That's bizarre. Um, However, I say to you that you shall not swear at all. Do not swear by the heavens, because they are infinite and immeasurable. Neither swear by the earth, because it is impermanent, nor swear by Jerusalem, because it is impermanent city built by human hands. You shall not also not swear by your head, because you cannot change the color of a single hair. Also, do not swear by the memory of a person or a thing, for they are all impermanent. Let your speech at all times be simple. Yes, yes or no. Anything beyond that goes against the laws. You have heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, exercise justice according to the natural laws of creation, so that you find the verdict in logic. Offer your love wherever it is warranted, and punish wherever the law of nature demands punishment. Give to them who ask you, if they make their request in honesty, and turn away from them who want to borrow from you in dishonest way. All right. And I say to you, practice love and understanding according to the natural laws of creation, so that through logic you find the right action and perception. Offer your love where it is warranted, and despise where the law of nature demands it. Um, you shall be wise and acquire knowledge, because you shall become perfect in spirit as the creation which created you. Over the course of incarnations, you shall train your spirit and your consciousness to and allow them to develop to perfection, so that you become one with creation. So yeah, that was the whole sermon. Yeah, that's what he says. That is most definitely um not what you read in the Bible, is it? He said nothing about God, which it did. It did have their it said God on there. I'm really not sure why that's in there. That's probably a typo or whatever that they made over in the Figo organization. He wouldn't have said that. He would have said like creation. So yeah, the governments and the Catholic Church been trying to alter the contact notes. Sometimes they're successful, and for whatever reason, things like that slip by. But yeah, Emmanuel didn't say God. He said creation. So you can't like hold any God up to the level of creation. So you guys have to keep in mind that the Bephath were on Earth at that time. Whenever Emmanuel was alive, and Emmanuel was Billy Meyer, that was his previous incarnation. So everyone keeps on talking about, Jesus is gonna rise. He's gonna rise from the dead and be alive. He's already in a lifetime. Um, is Edward Albert Meyer. That is his lifetime, definitively. He's got the same message that he did when he was then, and so this is his lineage of prophets. So he began as Enoch, and he said that he was going to have 7 incarnations as prophets. The next one would have been Elijah, Isaiah, Josiah, Jeremiah, Emmanuel, Muhammad. Yes, the same one that was like a messenger of Allah. That was Billy Meyer. He was Muhammad, and then his last incarnation is Billy Meyer. He is supposed to have another lifetime here in 50 years, so he's probably gonna pass here soon. Unfortunately, um, I imagine something will happen on an energetic level whenever he does pass. Um, because he's very spiritually old. I'm not really, sure if I'll be around for that, but um, I think some sort of occurrence is going to happen on a massive worldly level, and people that are perceptive are going to feel it, because he's a positive person, and who knows, just theorizing, but yeah, those are his lineages of prophets that bring the spirit teaching, and none of his life His 115 years, he spoke anything about, being the son of God. He was, he did speak about the Baphat, though. He spoke about them. There was a Ishwish called Calatan. I'm not really sure the relation that Manuel had to him. I need to look more into that because there's really not much information about that. Um, but yeah, there was the Baphat there. There was Jehovah, Kamagal the first and Kamagal the second. And they were all squabbling over who would rule over the three peoples, Jewish Gypsy people, and you know Mesopotamian, Sumerian peoples, and also the people in the Baltic Sea. They were ruling over all three of them. And the Baphath were all squabbling over them. They were just people, guys. Um, so there was so much religious nonsense going around that time. Plus, that was like right around the time after the Syrians left, and the Syrians perpetuated this creator god, you know, theory, and they left it with Earth humanity so they can destroy themselves. Um, my tablet thought that I was talking to it, but yeah. So there's all sorts of misinformation, and the thing is, it started, with his brother. For whatever reason, his brother Jacob, I guess his stepbrother, started calling him Jesus Christ, which was wrong of him for doing that. And um, Emmanuel had a wife, Mary, Mary Magdalene. He had two sons, and so after the crucifixion, they they fled and they went to India. So that's where he ended up passing a natural age of 115 years old in India. They did not nail him to a cross. It was like a Y shaped tree trunk pole. That's what it was. So you don't hear about that either. Um, and So there was some miracles that he did. He did not feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 3 fish. It was only 51 people, including himself and the disciples, and there were women disciples also. So that's another misconception. There were not 12 men disciples. There were several women and men that were there. His wife was one of them. Um, so he fed 51 people with 15 loaves of bread and 30 fish, um, by using consciousness abilities. He did do healings, but these were spirit healings. They had nothing to do with like supernatural capabilities. We can all develop spirit healing abilities. We do this already. The simplest example would be when you have a cut. You have a cut and it scabs up. This is literally your spiritual energy providing the necessary, energetic means for that cut to heal. So if your spirit form was not providing that energy, it's not just physiological. That's not what it is. It's our spirit forms enliven all of our cells. They enliven our whole brains, our neuroconnectivity, all of it, and our optic nerves in our eyes, all of it, our entire bodies. If we did not possess a spirit form, then we would not, be an animate physical body, and we would not have any intelligent thought. So it has to do with the spiritual process of healing a cut. You can control this, you can develop this ability, but it takes a while to practice it. So Emmanuel is very spiritually old. Billy has spirit healing abilities. I don't know why he doesn't like heal himself all the time. He doesn't have access to all his consciousness abilities in this lifetime, but he has done some demonstrations with telekinetic ability. When he was Emmanuel, he did have telekinetic ability. He could turn, water into wine, wine into water. These are just, like regular human abilities. There's nothing supernatural about it. Like walking on water, levitation. That's all it is. Just the ability to levitate. That's a very very simple ability. Teleplasty, creating shadowy images. telepathic ability. He spoke to people telepathically. There are reports that he communicated with people on a telepathic level. That's just because he was a telepath. It had nothing to do with being some sort of supernatural being or anything like that. So, and he never mentioned, not single once, about heaven or hell or the devil or anything like that, guys. That's a bunch of nonsense. So, that was his name was created and all that. The myths around him, the New Testament, and all that. That was in the Council of Nicaea in the year 325 A.D. With Constantine, the Emperor Constantine the First, in Iznik, Turkey. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about the Council of Nicaea. It's a bunch of gobbledygook mess. They did a whole bunch of stuff there. It lasted for years. And these powerful people back then, they just like decided to manipulate things. I'm sure that the Baphath had something to do with it. Can't say for sure, but I'm sure that the Baphath influenced all this, and he was a combination of the Baphath trying to interfere and you know fight the teaching of reincarnation and spirituality that Emmanuel was talking about when he was alive, and they're trying to perpetuate religious delusion. So yeah, I'm sure that they had a big influence on that, and just human stupidity. So there we go. Yeah, the year 325. So we are literally like we are 1701 years from that. Interesting. Last year was the 1700 anniversary of that. So very, very, very interesting that it's been that long already since they manipulated with, and here we are still, 1700 years later. People still believe the misinformation. Really, the only way that you can be able to prove this is develop time travel technology and then go back and see this. So everyone's going to feel really, really stupid in the future because they believed for so long all this nonsense, guys. It's just perpetuating an endless cycle of religious delusional nonsense. Is really not real, but he was a real physical man. That's it. He had like a very positive message. That's the message they had. He talked about reincarnation, talked about all sorts of positive things. So you got all these like preachers and stuff like that today going around, man, riling people up. Ooh, Jesus died for us today. No, he didn't. He didn't die. He died May 9th. So the year 111. He did not die on April 4th or whatever, 5th. But so another interesting facts about this. The person that betrayed him was not Judas Iscariot. It was a man named Judas I. Harriet, um, and was a like son of a Pharisee. Um, and it's been a while since I've like read the Bible, so I can't really tell you the details about Pharisees and all that nonsense. But um, yeah, so but in 1963, Isa Rashid and Billy went to Jerusalem and they uncovered the writings of Judas Iscariot, all of them. They were buried with Emmanuel. They went into actual Emmanuel's tomb, and body was still there. And they removed these scrolls. His sons, Emmanuel's sons, ventured from India all the way back to Jerusalem because that's what Emmanuel wanted. He wanted to be buried there. He also knew that in his one of his next lifetimes that as Billy he was going to go up there and dig up the writings of Judas Iscariot, Emmanuel's words, his teaching. So he did it on purpose. He went to Jerusalem, and the his sons took him to Jerusalem, took his body and the writings, and they buried him out there, where it would be undisturbed to this day. It's kind of crazy how that works, huh? Because Emmanuel was, going on ships. He was his father would take him on ships. Others would take him on ships. He had other contacts. He also met Billy and Ascot, Billy's second contact. They went back in time when he was 32 years old, and they met him, and they talked for a few hours, however long he had until people came back because uh, when he was Emmanuel, he wasn't alone that much, so you can't really like change things. And imagine if the people at that time would have saw like a beautiful sort of like dark blonde hair woman, with a spaceship and another man from the future or whatever talking to him. They would have they were open minded, but they couldn't change things. So I guess certain points in time when certain peoples are alone, you can speak with them, but I would not recommend anyone in your future lifetimes coming back and speaking to yourself now because that's just not going to end well, and you'll throw yourself into like a psychotic episode in the future, thousands of years into the future. That's fine, you can do that all you want, but not in this time period. I can do that with myself. um I wouldn't have a problem with it if my future self came here and talked to me. I know that my future self wouldn't tell me what's going to happen. We just have like a conversation or whatever. But um, yeah, you can't do stuff like that. But Emmanuel was, initiated in all of this stuff, spirituality, reincarnation, all of it. So Askett and Billy had the opportunity to go and speak with him, and he was really excited about that. But so in 1963, they found out, and Issa Rashid began translating it. So he translated it from Aramaic to German. He only got a chance to translate 36 chapters um, before he was assassinated. So him and his whole family, Issa Rashid's family, were assassinated by the Catholic Church. But he sent the translations to Billy in Switzerland. So that's all that there's left. There's only 36 chapters of the Talmud Emmanuel, as there are dozens upon dozens of chapters in there. You got to think about it. Judas Iscariot, the scribe, which is probably Christian from Pigu. That's probably who he is in his new lifetime. I would assume. I don't know that for sure, but um, yeah, wrote like dozens of chapters. He was with him pretty much for decades. He even went with him to India. So and Emmanuel continued to do spirit healings. He continued to educate people about reincarnation. That's why there is a story about him living in India, because he actually did. That's where he lived, in India. So yeah, he did not die on the cross, and he did not, you know, resurrect or anything like that, guys. That's just misinformation. He was hurt by the crucifixion, badly hurt. His father Gabriel healed him with a combination of spirit healing ability and technology, and then he was all glowing, and people misinterpreted it as him being supernatural and coming back from the dead, but that's not what happened. Though he was just a regular guy. That's it, just like he is now. Just a pot bellied, bald headed, long white bearded man. That has a kind of strange sense of humor. I think Billy has a strange sense of humor, but he's a very interesting personality right now. Um, and unfortunately, he's towards the end of his lifespan. I really wish that he would extend his life out and do something different. He can do a lot of good in this lifetime, but the reason why he hasn't made the decision to go out there and do lectures is because it's nearly impossible to convince Earth humans about reincarnation. This is one of the most provocative subjects you can probably talk about, and I don't see why it is. It's just, to me, it's natural. It's to him and to everyone in the Figo organization. This is the truth. This is natural, but it's so difficult for people to come to terms with the fact that there is no such thing as God. You don't go to heaven. You don't live only one lifetime. You live thousands of lifetimes. I just, for me, this none of this is new either. It could be it's just like new information for the majority of people on Earth, because they've never heard it before. But it's nearly impossible to do that. But if I were him, I would, stick around longer, and I would, you know, have the play R and reverse his aging and extend his life out. I mean, this is the last lifetime, even though in the next lifetime he's going to be the one to finally snap Earth humanity out of religious delusion way of thinking. You know, I wish he would do something different, but unfortunately, that's the way that he wants to do it. Patah and Quetzal are doing this mission according to the way that he wants it, not the way that they want to do it. I can guarantee you. So if they had it their way, they would have done something completely different. They try to offer him diamonds and stuff so he doesn't have to worry about money, but he doesn't. He hates financial system. So do I. I don't like the financial system either, but I would have accepted it. I'm not sure. I've never spoken with the man. I can tell you, I'd love to speak to him before, before things get too bad or whatever, and just get his opinion about things. But he's chosen to do things a certain way in his lifetime. You got to respect that. So maybe he knows something I don't. It's possible, but I don't know. I think he's making a mistake. But so if you guys want to look up the Talmud Emmanuel, um, you can go to future of humankind.co and .uk, and you'll find it there. Also, um, Michael Horn, has the link onto his website, dayfly.com, figure.org. Also, you can order it there. There is like a free ebook with the Talmud Emmanuel. There is, because I've read the whole thing. I forget every like word for word verbatim, but I can guarantee it doesn't say anything in there about any heaven or God or anything like that. It's a very positive message. Is just about reincarnation. Some of it's about how to, like, keep up with personal hygiene, to like shave body hair and stuff like that, because it's gross. So, but yeah, it's just like regular teaching to me. This is like kind of rudimentary. You have to think about, he was educating people 2,000 years ago. You had to like word things a certain way. You can't word things like you can today. 2,000 years later, people were more intelligent now. They were intelligent back then. That's a misconception too. But um, things were kind of simpler, so the language was different. Aramaic. He spoke other languages too. When he was Emmanuel, he spoke Old Lyran and probably Kosan, which is the universal language for the Federation of Light. So he spoke that also. Maybe Andromedan too. He could have spoken Andromedan, but he spoke. As far as I know, I think he spoke Greek too. Emmanuel spoke Greek. Um, and the common tongue that they use. So you have to word things a little differently, but that's pretty much it, guys. That's a very very controversial, significant figure. You have to think about it. The influence that he's had for the last 2,000 years is unbelievable, and the sad part is that he knew that his that entire lifetime was going to get misinterpreted, and people were going to form a religious cult. He even knew about the Society of Jesus. He knew about the Jesuits. He knew about all of it, because he went into the future and he saw all of this. Now, I'm not sure if anything has changed significantly from Emmanuel's time travel excursions. I imagine it would have changed. Quite a few things have changed since then. So that eventuality is unfortunately in the past. So that's what happens when we are on a new eventuality, a new branch, a spiral of time space. Um, it doesn't, whatever branch that he went on, it doesn't exist anymore. It gets faded out. We are on a constant course of forward evolution. So if something significant changes now, that anyone that has been to the future, um, recently or in the past, short in the past, then that will also, just disappear. That's the way that it works. It's just we can consistently move forward, but who knows? Yeah, maybe one day I'll go back in time and speak with him. Probably not. Probably there's probably already been enough people that went back in time and spoke with him. As far as I know, just Asuka spoke with him twice. So um, maybe she's the only one that was allowed to speak with him. But I don't see any real reason why I would want to. I'll just observe invisibly. But yeah, guys, all this religious nonsense that's sprouted about this is just unfortunate. A really evil, hateful organization. Catholic Church was formed from this uh, really hateful religious sect, Christianity, the Society of Jesus. And guess what? Now the wars that are going on in Iran and other places in the world, they're based off of this. They're based off religious delusion. That's what it always does. It always divides a civilization. It always, you got one group saying that they're right and that the other people are wrong and they're hateful, and another group saying the same thing, and it's just never ending. It just needs to all end. People need to open their minds to the possibility of living other lifetimes and the creational knowledge, and just be neutral about things. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen today. I really wish that it would. And I guess Chris Bledsoe is wrong also about the Star Regulus. So nothing happened today. It's almost 12 o'clock, so it is almost technically Monday. And guess he was wrong again, huh? Guys, you gotta stop listening to these plants like that. They're all plants. Stephen Greer is a plant. Chris Bledsoe is a plant. This Elizondo guy is a plant. They all are. If all right, this is a way to figure out whether or not these people are legitimate or not. Um, if they start out kind of like I do, with no listeners, no followers, anything like that, you start from the ground up, and you build upon that. But if you start off and you got like tens of thousands of budget, you have like an amazing studio, you have all these people that you interview, like the vice president and people in politics and generals and all these, just right out the gate, and they start interviewing these high profile people, then they're probably a plant. They have connections, and they're probably spreading misinformation. I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm telling the truth about this stuff. I'm telling the facts. But that's kind of how you tell when they get like millions of views, and uh, you know they start making all these millions of dollars and all that or whatever. Guys, they're probably a government plant. Just just ignore them. Ignore their ridiculous theories, um, and do the hard work. Do do the research yourself, and do the facts. People buy so easily into all this nonsense or whatever, but you know, reality is you know crazier than fiction. Though it really is. It's far more interesting. But people do have vivid imaginations. They make stuff up just to put that out there, and then people gobble it right up. But unfortunately, that's not going to stop for a long time. But I'm trying to do the best I can to open people's minds up. Just think for yourselves, guys. That's it. That's all I'm telling you. Don't attach yourself to someone else's ridiculous theory. Just do the hard work, do the research, and come to your own realizations and cognitions. But yeah, this world would be a lot better place if more people did that. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens out there, and tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday with Iran. Imagine this possibility. Imagine that Donald Trump doesn't make it, whatever hospital that he's in. Um, what do you guys think is going to happen then? So JD Vance will take over, and he's even more uh, malleable than Donald Trump is. So, do you guys think that he's going to fire a nuclear missile? I do. I think that JD Vance will do it. He'll be forced into it by these, Mossad agents that have been planted in the U.S. government. I can guarantee you, he will be forced into doing it and trigger World War III. That moron. But yeah, maybe some miracle creation will happen. I doubt it, but this is the world that we live in. We have to endure this, and we have to keep on fighting for positivity, keep on fighting for the truth, and never stop. That's how we have to do it. So yeah, I won't do another episode probably till Friday or Saturday. Uh, Got to get back to work, but I wish you guys good luck out there, guys. Please, please, just calm down about all this stuff. Stop buying up all the gas. Stop buying up all the groceries and the goods. It's not the end of the world. Please stop doing it, because you're only going to be, faced with an over surplus of stuff in your house. And, that's very greedy. Be considerate of other people. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about everybody else. You know, I have a very interesting way of doing things where, you always have what you need. So, and hopefully it stays that way. That's usually what happens with positive people. You're a positive person, positive things come back to you, even though we do have to suffer through some things. But I'm strong. I'll get through it. Guys, I wish you a good Sunday night, good rest of the week. Let's hope. Let's hope for something, some sort of positive change or whatever. That's all that we can do. I'll see you on the next episode. I'll see you in the next lifetime. Good night.